Hi there.
Hello, Yanni. This is such an incredible film for you. I really found it so funny and also heart-stopping at the same time. Was that what drew you to be a part of the movie, or maybe Javier himself?
Uh, yeah, th- that the idea that there's like sort of multiple genres sort of happening at the same time here, and that the film isn't all just one thing was really interesting about this film. So when I first got the script, I was like, oh, this is a horror film. Horror's not really my genre. But then as I started reading it, I was like, oh no, it's so much more. It's a comedy, it's a drama, it's sort of a coming of age story, and it really is in many ways just a story about these two high school friends who have the kind of friendship that I think will be really nostalgic for a lot of people, and really transport people back to that high school experience when you first had like a first best friend or somebody who you went through high school with. My character, Mr. Arda, is a little bit different for me. Like I've played a lot of like students in my life. This is my first time playing a teacher, and but he's a teacher who wants to be friends with the students, and so it was very easy for me to sort of play that because I wanted to connect with these younger actors, and in many ways the relationship on screen of me being a little bit older but really wanting to sort of be buddy buddy with these people was like what it was like off screen, hanging out with the cast in between takes.
I was gonna say, how was Mr. Arda then really described to you initially? Because it does seem like he's super friendly with the students. Obviously, he visits Javier in the hospital and
Yeah.
finds sort of like a confidant in them as well.
They didn't really tell me much about the character. They just kind of gave me the script, and I think they wanted me to sort of discover it all on my own and to come up with my own thoughts. And in reading it, I felt like I could really relate to this guy. He was a teacher. I do teach acting and jujitsu. But I'm still also feel like I'm a part of those things as well. And this character, you had teachers that were so far away from you, like you couldn't relate to them. And you had teachers that were sort of just like maybe they had just graduated a few years before, they were just starting off their teaching career. And this character really reminded me of those sorts of teachers that I've had in my life. So yeah.
When my sister was teaching or learning to be a teacher for a middle school, they were like, "What class do you need to be in?" And she's like, "I'm the teacher," because
That's really funny.
So
Yeah,
when you
I mean,
kind of baby face and also that relatability though, because as you mentioned, you are a couple years, you're supposed to be like a few years removed from that sort of environment, but still, whatever, trying to connect with that, you do have those innate bonds. I feel like as someone who you feel like I've just been there, so
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know how to relate to you, and it really transforms on screen. I really see that connection you do have with the students is sincere. It's not like something that um, is forced on them. Not where you're like, "Hey, pal, let's hang out." So you guys do seem to have a connection with each other, which is interesting because these events are happening around school that are so traumatizing. And certainly, bullying is a topical thing. It's still a topical thing. It has been for some time, and certainly kids want to find someone they can confide in about their issues and stuff like that. But this is a unique take on that. Which scenes were maybe the most challenging for you to film, or maybe ones that you're most proud of the work you did in?
That's a good question. I think all the scenes I was in offer different challenges and opportunities. They're all kind of a little bit different as you sort of map the arc of my character. Um, there is a scene where my character is talking about I don't want to give too much away, but some of the kind of like tragic events that are unfolding in the film. And I think for everyone in the room, that scene actually was, and we didn't really talk about it very much, but it was bringing up topics surrounding mental health and suicide and things like that, that I think everyone probably has some experience with, or can relate to in some way. And so that was sort of a scene where it felt like, yeah, we were playing the story of the film, but we are also talking about much more than that. And I thought Jose did a really good job in writing about this very, very difficult topic and bringing it up on screen in a way that could inspire conversations about mental health and bullying and suicide and that sort of thing, which sadly maybe doesn't get spoken about enough, especially for young people who have to, suffer through and endure so many things on their own. They don't feel like there is help, or they don't feel like they do have a teacher they can go to, or who can help get them through what would be a very difficult situation. I've been very fortunate. I've had some amazing teachers in my life who really helped me get through difficult times. And I would hope that all young people out there who are struggling with mental health issues can find someone in their life to help them get through that, because there is help out there.
Well, this is a thrill ride, as I said, through and through. You certainly invest in Javier because you root for the underdog, but also, we've all experienced bullying at some point, or we've all experienced, certain tragedies, but this is, heightened in that sense. And I'm wondering what you think it is about Departing Seniors that's just going to make it a fast fan favorite thriller. It's sort of like Scream meets Ghosts meets School Spirits, but at the same time, it's its own unique being.
Totally. I think you put it really well. Jose did a good job of referencing and paying homage to all these different great horror films that we've all watched coming up through the years. But then he infuses it with his own personal experience and narrative and creates a very unique character in Javier, and also in Arian's character, Bianca. So that these are sort of, I feel like, very new characters and very new additions, and a really kind of a new chapter in that conversation. So it both harkens back to like stuff that we're very familiar with, and then it does new things to make it its own sort of like new singular film. Um, so yeah, I just think it's we shot this thing on like in 16 days. We had a really low budget, but somehow Claire and Jose and Deshauna, the producer, were able to put together a really unique cast, and we all just like you do in high school. You kind of knuckle down and you just give it so much spirit and enthusiasm. And we came up with something that I feel that I'm very proud of, and I hope really lands with audiences. And the few audiences I've watched it with so far, I've had a really great time with it. So um, hoping it gets out there to more people.
What did you personally then take away from your time working on this film?
Well,
Certainly new friendships.
new friendships for sure. Like the cast has become very close and we keep up with each other. I got to spend a lot of time in Chicago, which I had never really done before, and I just fell in love with that city. I got to know Claire and Jose really well, and we're talking about future projects. And in a weird sort of way, I got a chance to go back to high school, and relive that and walk down these halls and hang out and have fun in between class. And, that was really special for me.
What are the other projects you've been busy working on lately?
I am in the process of writing a screenplay that I hope to try to have made at some point. We just finished editing a short film that's going to start getting submitted to festivals, and I'm always auditioning for stuff. So just sort of looking for my next gig. Hopefully, Departing Senior sequel.
Ah, you never know, right? What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible work you do on our screens?
Wow. I gotta say, every time I meet somebody who has watched one of the things I've done, I wouldn't be able to work on TV shows or in movies without people who support those films and movies. And so it just means everything to me. And so thank you, and hopefully people will come out to see this film. And we just want you to know that we read every comment and we see every post, and we just appreciate the support so, so very, very, very much. We don't take any of it for granted. And we hope that we've created something that will entertain audiences and maybe start conversations about really important topics at the same time. And yeah.